My YouTube channel is failing because MrBeast started a cult. Okay, not exactly, but I do think that he has accidentally started something called a cargo cult. They're this crazy thing that really took off in the Pacific during World War II. Basically, some military would go to an inhabited island and build an airbase there. When the war was over, they would tear down the airbase, but the locals who had seen all of this happen would rebuild the airbase out of bamboo. They'd hold flag ceremonies and pretend to operate radios that were made out of coconuts. They did all this because they thought that it would summon planes that would land and bestow riches upon them, just like they saw happen with the military. For them, it wasn't technology, it was a ritual. And obviously, the planes never came. They had copied everything they had seen, but never actually understood how it worked. And this is what's happening with YouTube. New creators like myself are seeing successful channels and copying them cosmetically without understanding what makes them successful in the first place. This is the reason that we got the beastification of YouTube. It's the reason that us new creators are plastering our face on thumbnails and using flashy transitions and animated logos. We're building bamboo runways and praying for planes that will never land. And I'm done with bamboo. So I'm going to be smart, logical, and build a shrine to YouTube. Obviously, I want this channel to be successful. And a big problem that I have is I haven't really defined what that means for me. Long term, I want to be a professional YouTuber. And I'm sure that the thought of that fills my parents with anxiety. In reality, they've actually always been super, super supportive of me pursuing creative career paths, and they're amazing, and I love them so much. Anyways, I have no idea at what point I can look at my channel and say, I've made it. So instead, I'm just going to pick an arbitrary number and set that as my goal. And originally, that number was 100,000 subscribers. My problem is that the store didn't have the silver spray paint that I needed, so instead of going to a different store, I'm just changing my goal by an order of magnitude and saying 1 million subscribers. That number doesn't sound real. And if I'm going to get there, I've got a couple problems I need to solve. One of the biggest ones is creativity. The issue isn't a lack of creativity. The problem is that creativity is a trap. It's fun, it's fulfilling, and on the surface level, it's really easy. It's easy to come up with fun ideas for things. The hard part is picking one of those ideas and actually following through. I am not good at that part. I mean, I stopped halfway through shooting this video to write an entirely new video about how fish don't exist. I think it's going to be a banger. The problem is that it stopped me from working on this video. I love being creative, thinking of stories, projects, things to build out of Legos, all these things that I like the idea of doing but never actually take the time to start. This has resulted in a list, a glorious 12-page list of bad video ideas. And I mean, look at this. Most of these are just one-word ideas. I like how there's a whole section here that's just different kinds of alcohol. It's like beer, whiskey, sake, wine. Whiskey's on here twice. It's spelled different. Okay, oh, there's one here that just says clone myself. And not only do I have no idea how to even begin doing that, I'm pretty sure it's a crime against humanity. Actually, here, let me check that. Okay, it's maybe not a crime against humanity, but it's definitely frowned upon. And one of my biggest problems is that by the time that I actually finish an item on the list has grown. It's longer. And even worse, like you saw, these ideas are all over the place. And what happens when I have a chance to actually start working on a new project is instead of taking the time to really think about what I want to be working on next, I just work on whatever happens to be in my head at that moment. And oftentimes the result is that I get halfway through the video and realize that it's just a terrible idea. This is how I ended up with a half-finished video about the history of corn dogs. I call this the creativity trap. That corn dog thing, not a joke. I drove 150 miles round trip to eat at what is possibly the first corn dog stand in the world. I need to focus up and actually take the time to choose which projects I want to work on instead of just being impulsive. And I think I have a way to solve that. When I started the channel, I wasn't really sure about what kind of content I wanted to be making. I knew I wanted to kind of be in the realm of science and maker videos because I love building things. I mean, my friends call my office the Lego room. I don't know why. All of my favorite creators are makers as well. I mean, Willie Mosman, Alan Pan, Emily the Engineer, Simone Yetch, and of course, Adam Savage. There's a magic to being able to imagine something and then make it real, and I want to be a part of that. So will someone please explain to me why I didn't do that? Instead, my channel is just this unholy blend of history, business, workouts, and self-inflicted pain. I need to get back into making things instead of just following my ADHD around. What makes this so frustrating is I have a list of maker and science videos that I genuinely want to work on. I'm just working on other videos because the other videos are easier. And I don't think that's a good enough reason to pick them over the maker videos. And at the heart of my channel, I want to tell good stories, and I think I'm getting better at that. But now, I want to do that within the constraints of maker and science videos. Another problem I'm having is I keep getting naked. I don't know why. In almost half of my videos, I take most or all of my clothes off at some point. And I need to stop doing that. It's led to some awkward conversations with people. So no more nudity. When I started this channel, I did not think this would be an issue. At this point, I could say that the real reason that my channel isn't doing well is that the algorithm just hates me. This is dumb. The problem isn't the algorithm, it's me. And the same goes for pretty much anyone that's not getting a lot of views. The algorithm doesn't hate us, we're just doing something wrong. Because the reality is that the algorithm wants to find viewers for videos. The whole point of it existing is to put the right videos in front of the right viewers and keep them watching for as long as possible. The real problem is that apparently YouTube is a lot harder than it looks. Sure, anyone can make a YouTube channel, but anyone can make a YouTube channel. There is so much competition out there. People used to complain about having too many options because cable TV had 600 channels on it. YouTube has 114 million channels competing for attention. Side note, thank you for choosing to watch me. Anyways, this means I shouldn't be worried about the algorithm. I need to be worried about the audience. I need to find my target audience, make content that they'll like, and figure out a way to package it so that they choose to watch it instead of watching the millions of other options out there. For me and most new creators like me, that means learning how to make good titles and thumbnails. But most of all, I just need to be making better videos. And unlike most of the other stuff on this list, there isn't a quick solution. It just comes with time and experience. But at the heart of it, I need to remember that the audience needs to come first. I'm low-key afraid I'm gonna set my butt on fire sitting here. So, instead of joining a cult, I made this. Anyways, this is my misguided attempt to get my channel back on track. Basically making something ridiculous and pointless to just sear the lessons I've learned into my brain. The gold play button, formerly silver. I've got St. Jimmy, If anyone understands the algorithm, it's him. I've got a screwdriver to remind me to make things. Ironically, I can't use the screwdriver anymore because it's hot glued to the shrine. I've got the censored Ventruvian man to remind me to stop taking my clothes off on camera. I've got all of my dumb video ideas glued on here. That's what all these little tassel things are. But most importantly, I've got my audience. Hopefully that's you.